What's up, everybody? My name is TJ McClelland. I'm the broker of Fitness Realty. We are here to bring you episode 80. I'm so excited. That's such a round number. It's just going to be amazing. I cannot believe we've made it this far, so I want to be very, very upfront with you guys. I'm so appreciative. Thank you so much for all of your support. This is going to be amazing. And I've got right next to me Ethan Rasmussen, who is the founder of Homestead Hands. What's up, everybody? Say hi to Ethan. Ethan, what's up? Say hi to everybody out there.
Hey, everybody.
I'm so excited to have Ethan here. So me and Ethan ran into each other at a home show that was up north in Weber, Davis County. Don't quote me on that. I can't remember if it was just called, maybe it's just called Northern Utah Home Show.
That's exactly right. Yep.
Awesome. Well, this is going to be so fun, and I am just excited to share you and your company with everyone out there. So before we get kind of started in there, would you just give us a little bit of background about you? Let's see what Ethan's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've lived my whole life in Utah. I was born in northern Utah, kind of around the Kaysville area, and then moved down to St. George, spent some time in Utah County, and now I'm up here in Logan, Utah, studying animal science and agribusiness at Utah State University. My wife and I have been up here for the last 7-ish months, and so I've still got about 2.5 years of schooling left, so we've got a while.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, real quick, this year in Logan has probably been one of the coldest years. I mean, I'm not in Logan, but I just know where I'm at in Saratoga Springs. It's been freakishly cold and tons of snow, so I don't even want to imagine what you guys have had to deal with.
Yeah, it's been snowing all day outside right now.
Oh my gosh, that is just so crazy. I did see really quick up near you, somewhere way up north, they recorded the lowest temperature in all of Utah's history or something, like a negative 68 or whatever. I think that's insane.
Yeah, Peter Sink up Logan Canyon. I think it even held kind of the nation record for a while if it doesn't still hold it anymore.
Whoa, that's crazy. I did not know that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so you're in school, got some stuff going there, you and your wife. You guys have any kids?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, all right. Just doing the school life, trying to figure things out. I love that.
Yeah.
And I think that you're just in such a great opportunity to just decide what you want in life and kind of grow that. So, well, let's jump into Homestead Hands. Like, how did you come up with the idea to start a company there, and what is Homestead Hands?
Absolutely. So it all started, honestly, when I moved down to St. George. I didn't grow up in an agricultural background. I kind of wanted to pursue maybe like a doctor or an engineer. But then when I moved down to St. George, I volunteered to work on a cattle ranch for free, just for a week. I wanted to see what it was like.
Oh, wow.
And then I loved it. Yeah, it was great. It was a good experience. And luckily, the ranch owner hired me back for the rest of the summer. And then I ended up working there for 7 years. And we really focused on producing high quality grass-fed beef. And it was just an overall amazing experience. And I realized that I had a strong passion, honestly, for agriculture production and really sustainable food production. And so that's when I kind of changed my life courses and came up here to Utah State to pursue agriculture. And it was throughout that process that I realized it's somewhat hard to break that barrier between kind of a first generation producer and getting involved in agriculture, right? There's a lot of stuff to learn between just producing your own food, especially when it comes to livestock. And I wanted to make that easier for other people because I think it's such an important aspect of life. And it's such, honestly, an important aspect of just our society in general, to be able to be connected to your food. And so that's kind of the idea where Homestead Hands came from, that we wanted to be able to create a company that could kind of walk with people step by step, guide you through the entire process of beginning that lifestyle of becoming a food producer on kind of small and larger acreage properties.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let me regurgitate back a little bit of what I heard and make sure I'm tracking. So,
yeah.
First off, you went to St. George and you did a 1 week crash course in agriculture, I guess. Which
Sure, yeah.
sounds wild. And then you did a full summer and just found out you loved it. And then you wanted to create a company that would help average homeowners potentially be their own type of food producer on small and large scale.
Yeah, that's a pretty good summary. I like that.
Oh man, that sounds so cool because I actually have seen more and more people, especially right now, with the price of eggs. Everybody's like, "Oh man, I got to get my own chickens or whatever," because it's like you know, they pretty much produce gold right now, which is insane.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Have you found lately that a lot more people are kind of gravitating towards your business model, or searching up terms that have to deal with home food production just because of the cost of food currently, or what does that look like just in the grand macroeconomics area?
Absolutely. I think there's actually been a lot of just general things that are going on that are really making people think about becoming more self-sufficient and learning how to produce their own food, right? Following the COVID-19 pandemic, we all realized that, man, if I'm completely relying on the grocery store, I'm not going to be able to have access to everything as long as I want it. Or inflation with egg prices right now. Yeah, it'd be really nice if I didn't have to pay that much for all my eggs. And even just kind of congestion inside the cities and trying to have a healthier lifestyle out in the country, kind of stepping back from things. All of these things are really prevalent in everybody's life, your life, my life, and people want to be able to kind of have a little bit more security, be more self-sufficient, be able to produce and have access to higher quality food, and just have that knowledge base that that they can then rely on later, and kind of build your own personal capabilities.
Oh, that's cool. Do you find your best client is let's say I own a little 1 acre piece of ground. Is that the best client, or is it somebody who thinks that they're a food prepper or a zombie apocalypse type of person? What is the sweetest spot that we would know when we're talking to somebody like, ooh, this is a great client for Ethan? What does that person look like?
Sure. Honestly, I think the size of the property doesn't matter as much as kind of where the person wants to, what they want to accomplish, right? If there's somebody who has a landscape that they want to kind of incorporate some of these more agricultural aspects to it, or they want to just become more self-sufficient and use their property well, and then maybe they've either tried it a few times or they have no idea where to begin, that's exactly where we can come in. And then somebody who's really eager to learn and honestly just improve their overall lifestyle through their landscape and be able to produce their own food. That's what we love. We love working with people who are eager to kind of begin this new stage and want to learn all that they can.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So do you help people do gardening or livestock, or what is give me a how it works. Let's say I just have a little half acre piece of ground and I'm like, I want to get started. What does it look like, the conversation you would have with me to get started?
Yeah. We focus on there are two different aspects of our company that I can describe more later, but they focus on one-on-one interactions. And so we really want to talk to you about what your goals are. What things do you want to accomplish? What do you, if in your wildest dreams, this would be nice, right? We kind of talk about all those things, and then we evaluate what resources you have available to you on your property. And our company has kind of a team of specialists, like horticulturalists, landscape designers, animal scientists, that kind of thing, so that we can really provide you with all the specialists that you need in order to accomplish those goals. And then we'll work with you to talk about if we're heading in the right direction as we kind of design your property and give you these recommendations. And by the end of it, you'll have had quite a few meetings with me and other specialists. You'll have some reports about kind of your step-by-step process for the next few years, whether you want to say, okay, I want this done in 3 years or 5 years. We kind of help you outline that And then we can also provide you with a landscape design so you can visualize it for the future, right? Okay, this is my goal. Because sometimes it's hard and you kind of get a little discouraged as you're building it up, but knowing what it's going to look like is really nice.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool about how you guys can, how you're able to do that, because I do think that most of the time in life, and especially right now, we have hundreds of things pulling us in different directions, and so sometimes it's really hard for us to nail down what is it that I want and what does the pathway look like. And so if you guys are coming in and really showcasing that and giving a visual diagram, I think that's just huge, because for people that really want to go down that road, I think that there's way too much content on YouTube for people to really go and hammer down, like, where should I start, And so if they can just go to a specialist like you guys, I mean, that's amazing, and that's so cool. So I think like where I kind of want to dive a little deeper into that is, for the average person, what does it look like for them to get started with you? Is it a 3-year plan? And I know you've said you've tailored it to specific needs and wants of the client, but on average, what do people look like? Is it like, I want to do a 20 by 40 garden and I want to have 2 cows and 6 chickens? Or is it like, let's just play it by ear as we go? Or what does that look like for the average kind of client that you've got?
Yeah. The average, I think, is going to be a hard thing to describe because everybody's property is so different and their goals are so different. But I would say the most common way that people want to get started is with like a garden, maybe some fruit trees or some kind of fruit bushes, and then maybe like some chickens and goats, right? Kind of the small livestock. Cool. That's usually kind of the entry level aspect of it, primarily because it's easier to kind of get started with those things just for the labor, right, and the maintenance. Yeah. And then like the other thing is your city ordinances, right? Like we don't want to go against anything that's already there, and so sometimes when you get into that larger livestock, the city isn't really ready for that yet.
Gotcha.
And so we focus on being able to work within the boundaries, but help people kind of just ease into it and really help them find success quickly, because it can be hard.
Oh, that's cool. All right, well, shifting gears a little bit, what area is your primary focus for people? Is it like just Logan or Salt Lake County or Utah? What is it like? If I had a client back in Florida, can you help them, or what does that look like for you guys?
Sadly, we definitely cannot help anybody in Florida. That's a little too far for us. But we work between northern Utah, like in Logan, and we can go up into like the Bear Lake area, right up just a little bit further north, and then down to Utah County. So the furthest south project we've done so far is Pleasant Grove, but then we've done other ones kind of in the Salt Lake area, more in kind of like Huntsville, Utah, and kind of all between there, Ogden and Brigham City, that kind of aspect of it.
Okay, cool. So for everybody listening, from about northern Utah, maybe into Idaho, and down to like maybe Spanish Fork area, maybe a little bit north of that, would be a great area. And then I think I'm going to ask you a poignant question about the size of property. I know that we've kind of tickled on that a little bit, but what is like the bare minimum somebody could really get serious about being a food producer? Like, what's the bare minimum on acreage, do you think?
Yeah. It depends on how much you want to produce, but we like last year we were able to do a project that was on kind of a 1/10 of an acre. That was the whole spot they had. That wasn't including their house, right? That was the amount of land that they had to grow something on it. We were still able to create a pretty nice design for them. But then there was other ones, honestly, a pretty similar size, about a 1/10 of an acre. You can get a really good garden in a small spot. And so the livestock probably doesn't come in until a little bit bigger size of a property. But like chickens, you can kind of make it work if your HOA and city ordinances allow it. But I think it's often forgotten or not understood how much food you can really produce on a small acreage of property.
Yeah, that's interesting. I have never actually thought about how much you can grow on something small, so that I kind of like that. I might go with you just on a I don't want to call it a war path, but on a pathway for you to kind of look at that with me just in my personal life. But so for everybody listening, I think this is kind of cool because for me, I have a lot of clients and friends. Plus, I live in a townhouse, so maybe one day I want to live in a normal house that's got some ground. But if you're living in a townhouse right now and what Ethan is saying sounds amazing and interesting, I'll totally help you get some ground. That was my self-serving plug. Okay, let's move on from there. All right. Lastly, I want to ask you what's maybe the craziest story that you've got with one of your clients, or something amazing that you guys have done, or the biggest project that you've worked thus far, just to kind of wrap up with something like that.
Yeah. Luckily, I don't feel like we've had any crazy stories. They've all gone pretty smoothly, which we like.
Okay. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I think the biggest project we've done was a 40-acre ranchette, kind of in Eden, Huntsville area. And we were kind of just starting, but they had a really exciting property that they wanted to work on, recently acquired, and they wanted to create a place where they and their family could come and kind of enjoy that experience. And so there were things like Highland cows, chickens, goats. They want a nice garden and all these kind of aspects of it. And I think that was really exciting because though it was new for them, and honestly, that was the biggest project we've done, it was really exciting to be able to help them create a place that they're looking forward to having their whole family there, and they can kind of begin that new lifestyle.
No, that's so cool. When you said Highland cows, hopefully I'm going to put up a picture of the Highland fluffy cows because they are freaking cool looking.
Yeah.
Maybe that's one of my goals. Maybe I should put that on my goal list over here, to own a Highland cow as a pet.
As long as you treat it well, yeah, go for it.
Oh, that's so awesome. Well, I really love what you've got going on, Ethan. I think that the food production area is so kind of gray and cloudy for most people, just because all we do is go to Smith's or Costco and like, hey, I just bought some chicken and I never have to think about it. And so I feel like some of that knowledge is just being evaporated off because we just don't think about it all the time. So I think what you're doing is very, very important, and I think that it's such a cool area for you to operate in, especially when you have a passion for it, because I think that people that are passionate about what they do teach at a more higher level, and people actually respond to that. So I'm pretty excited to see where you guys go in the next year, 2 years, or wherever. And so on that note, I really wanted to say thank you. Your company really has something unique that I wanted to showcase to all of our viewers. And also just your personality style has a way for us to kind of be excited about food production when sometimes people just put that into a negative light, and we all know we have to eat. So it might as well be fun and entertaining. So I really wanted to say thank you for coming on the show. I think you've got a really good, unique business model, and I'm excited to see where you guys go.
Thank you. I'm grateful we were able to get together and talk about it. It's been a wonderful time.
Yeah, awesome. Well, everybody, this has been episode 80. You know, I'm TJ McClellan, the broker of Fitness Realty. I've got Ethan Rasmussen here. He is the founder of Homestead Hands. We're excited to see where he goes with his career. It's going to be amazing. And thank you, everyone. Subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time. See ya.